We got 2 injured, 1 dead.
That's correct. So welcome back to the Fall of Whitecliff, first edition Pathfinder mini campaign that we're running. This might be the end of chapter 1, we'll see. But we are down 1 player. Damus is, I was going to say no longer with us, but he is just absent, so I won't put an X through him. But we will do a quick character recap because the last episode was not actually successfully recorded. So we'll just kind of do a quick intro, and we have a couple new people here in the group. And we'll start from left to right if we want to start with Averi.
Yes, my name is Averi Borazather. I am our resident Storm Soul Sylph Swashbuckler, and I have been dealing a lot of damage, keeping myself safe and drawing attention away from the others, so you're welcome.
Absolutely. Shifting over, we've had 1 fallen comrade, or missing in action, potentially, but we will kind of skip over Bree and go to Corvantis.
Hello there, I'm Corvantis. It's great to be here. I promise one day I'll remember the original voice I used for this character, but that day is not today.
What do you mean? This is my voice!
What do you mean?
So, yes, Corvantis, what class are you again?
I am a war priest.
That's correct.
And I'm a human.
War priest. So, not a cleric, a war priest.
Correct.
We have our orc Ramus. However, he is not here today, so he'll be NPC'd by myself. Shifting over to our elf, half-elf, Elly.
Hello, my name is Elly. I am a sorceress and your resident door opener to, open the door for our damage-dealing Averi and making sure she doesn't break the door down so we can, bar it up to prevent others from coming in. Because I think there was some random people who popped in the other room. Hey, Vantis, who's in there?
I don't, they attacked the guy and the guy attacked us. I don't know.
Yes, so that's a good segue into our 2 new players, because I guess I'll do a quick recap and then we'll introduce you. So in the last session, there was basically a fight that was ongoing as you were sneaking around the castle, and I'm going to switch pages over to the castle for the recap, and then we'll jump back to the home page, if this works. So the guards are coming from all areas, and on the stream you can see actually all the people in the Shadow region. I think the players have dynamic lighting, so they can't. But the party kind of got separated. Bree got down here to the wall and she was subdued. The guards are charging in from all angles. Averi was up in the tower up here, wreaking havoc on all these guards, soloing a whole bunch and started retreating through that tower and then back here to rejoin the group. But meanwhile, down in the docks, which there's a smuggler's cove underneath the castle, so it's a couple 100 feet down into the crags of the coast. There's a little channel and going through a cave, which leads to a wharf. And this is where Flora and Grace have been making their way up from the smuggler's ship. And they entered into the castle via a secret passageway. And so back to the home screen. Flora, would you like to introduce yourself?
Hello, my name is Flora. I don't remember what voice I gave her, but it's okay because she's only 34. She's going through Tiefling puberty right now. I'm about 4 feet tall and I'm a witch. This is Glossa, my little thrash, which was not what I thought it was when I looked it up. I was very confused. I'm just here with Grace doing what I do best, which is being really smart and casting magic when needed. Lots of weird souls here. Really pretty raspberry lady, Grace. Feels like really pretty flowers. The giant rock man, creepy face. And there's a dragonfly somewhere going woof, 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 everywhere.
And then over to the not quite as tall Grace.
I am Grace Edwards. I am a gnome. Stand about 2'4", so I'm definitely smaller than my compatriot here with me. And I'm here because I have a mission I need to do.
Okay. Excellent. So the camera kind of zooms back in through the clouds, across the sky, and you see the not an island, but the coast up ahead, the huge, towering, Scottish almost looking cliffs with waves crashing up against the shores. And it goes into a window in the tower, and you can see the scene in front of you with Averi just kind of bursting through the doors and Elly closing it behind. You hear the sound of armored footsteps of the guards chasing and pursuing down from this doorway here from within the castle. You can hear kind of clamoring and banging and then a battering ram sound as the door kind of shakes and rattles and you hear a crack. Inside the not the sanctum, what would this be? This is kind of more like a storage closet almost. There is a trap door which is bashed open, visibly torn, so it will no longer close properly. And you have the dead body of this scribe just kind of splattered out on the floor, actively leaking his red innards across the threshold, and Elly stepping back to keep her boots clean. The small figures of Grace and Flora are kind of watching as Corvantis just stepped away, I think kind of in a bit of a rage and then kind of calming himself. And the half-orc Damus just kind of standing idly by and beginning to look around. There's another loud crash as the door below, there's another crunch and you can feel the doors beginning to crack. And moving back to what would have been a fresh round, because even though you're not in combat, initiative is still kind of in place. So Damus is going to continue looking around for more loot on the shelves and basically spends his time ransacking the place. Grace, what would you like to do?
Based off of what I'm doing here, do I have a map or a layout of the building?
You can roll a check for that, and this is where I wish I had all my Pathfinder stuff because I don't have the skill list. But let's see what a good skill for you would be. How about a knowledge dungeoneering? Do you have that? By any chance?
Yes, I do.
Okay, roll a dungeoneering check.
19.
Okay, so yes, you had acquired. So from where you're coming from, the rebels is all that they're known by in this region. Shadowy groups of nomads to the gypsies to just people, thieves and robbers, and just people who do not want to succumb to the rule of the Castellan here in the Rankin is the overlord of this region. So there's a bunch of rebels that are kind of not quite unified together, but there's different sects and groups here and there. You've been given kind of a layout, kind of hand-drawn, sketched. Someone paid a pretty price to get this. But yes, you have the map of the castle. And with that, how much can you see with the dynamic lighting?
Vision cuts off here.
Okay, so you can't
Here.
you can't see the layout behind the darkness.
Correct.
Does anybody know how to turn it off so that it is only concealed but visibly stuff you've explored? You can see the layout or no?
Yes.
Is there any way to do that?
So that is
Explorer mode?
Yeah, put it on Explorer mode.
Okay, so I'm going to turn Explorer mode on now. Can you see
So if I put
the map below?
her
But
here, yeah. So if I put her here and then I pull her back, I now have that area is grayed for me.
Okay, so so if I move your token, will it do the same thing?
You're moving. Yeah. If
Oh,
you
that's-
move back
that's-
around.
Oh, that's
If you move
Becca.
back
I grabbed the
around-
wrong person.
Yeah, but it does open up, so I think we can all see into those areas because I
Yeah.
know I can.
So because everyone's a team, if you want, if people want to just kind of, I'll just do
Yeah,
it.
if you-
Stuff I saw.
Yeah, that's probably good enough. I think you kind of get the idea from that. Oops.
Cool.
and it's really laggy for me too. So I will stop. But you have an idea for how this is.
Okay. Looking on my map, do I know where the general's office is?
So you would know that his quarters, his abode, is on the second floor. It's not on the second floor. It's on the tower. So if you were to you're already in the keep. If you find your way to get up to the top, you know that there's a wizard's tower and there is the castellan's tower.
Okay, and I'm going to the castellan tower, right?
That's you don't know where that is. You're looking for. I can't remember if it's what item it is. Did I send you information on that? Forgive my unpreparedness. All my notes are not here. Okay, so you are basically hunting for papers.
Okay.
So the papers you're looking for are going to be all basically signed papers for travel, essentially passports and stuff like that you can steal and utilize with nefarious but good deeds. So there's a chance that it would be up there in it, or maybe the wizard would have it. This dead scribe probably would have known. Anybody kind of in charge of like the documentation and stuff, you could probably have interrogated. Inside the room you're in, there's just storage, and it looks like kind of a valuables and illicit goods are being stored here for removal and to be sold off and traded in the black markets.
Okay. In looking at the way that the scribe was dressed and looking at the people in the room with me, it's probably pretty apparent that they don't actually belong here, right?
Yeah. Corvantis, why don't you describe what you look like? Because I think you did find your armors. You never lost your armors, but what does he generate the picture of to someone? Obviously not in the livery of the Castellan's guards here.
Yeah. Corvantis is this big, buff dude. And he's about 5'10", and he weighs around 160, 175 pounds. He's completely bald and he has blue eyes. And when he has his gear on, which he now does, he has like this chain, I believe it's chain that I give him. No, studded leather armor. He has that on, which kind of covers about down to here on him. So his forearms are pretty much exposed. And then he has this giant Earthbreaker hammer that he wields. And when he's just walking, he just holds it in one hand, kind of like this, up near the actual hammer part. Yeah. And then when combat comes,
that mallet side of the hammer is covered in just a little bit of gore.
A little bit of gore, a little bit of dried gore, but yeah, there's a lot.
Interesting. Looks like y'all have been through stuff. I'm looking for the general's office, which is located in one of the two main towers around here. Can you point a girl in the right direction? I'll say to Corvantis.
Corvantis looks at you and goes,
There's only one staircase that we found. Down the hallway, whatever door on the left is open, then go left again until you see a jail cell, then take a right, then another right, up the stairs. We explored on the right of up the stairs, not on the left, but there was somebody in there.
Crunch.
Not paying attention.
There's another loud bang from the hall.
Perfect.
They're probably coming here now. How did you get in?
Long story. Don't have time. Need to go get some stuff.
Job.
She'll slap her hand. She'll slap her hand over.
I'm taller than you. I'm like, please don't put in a half taller than you. Just it's it's work business. Stop hitting.
There's a Corvantis kind of looks over. There's a trapdoor right there.
They had put a box over it.
Corvantis still saw you guys come out of it.
Yeah, but we did put a box over it.
It's an awkward box too, because the bend in it is like not level.
I put a giant bend in it.
Is no one worried about the loud crunching noises coming from that direction?
Oh no, I am, but it's
that's
not my turn.
Is it?
That's not a crunching noise that we need to be concerned about at this point. When it gets
Yes, it
here,
is.
then
They're gonna
maybe
kill
we'll
you
listen
too
for
if
it.
they get a hold of you.
I'm just
Oh,
saying.
I'd
that
love to
there's
see them try.
Adults never listen, huh?
Yeah, they
No, there
don't,
was someone
honey.
who had that exact same attitude, and they went missing.
Huh. Weird. It sounds like they weren't very good. It sounds like they weren't very good at staying alive. It's odd. Interesting.
Very odd.
Different people, different tactics. Anyway, yeah, if you could take me to this climb stairs area that you guys have already been to, that'd be grand.
The
No.
only problem is there's some people in the way, and
Oh,
I kind of need a nap. A nap
Well-
feels really good right now. I'm so tired.
Is Grace paying attention to Flora at all, or is she busy talking to Corvantis, Damus, and Elly?
she's talking to Corvantis, Thomas, and Elly.
Flora's gonna
Just
wander
to
up
clarify.
because she feels a dragonfly.
I think we're still in
the-
initiative order.
Yeah, we're still in initiative, Katie.
Sorry, never mind. I forgot. I drew a blank.
The
It's okay.
Can I roll a perception? See where the crunching sound is coming from?
Yeah, you definitely know that it's coming from the door in the maid's room. And then they're also trying to lift the portcullis, and then you can hear guards running down the wall.
I don't think we have time for this. Wait, I missed the first part because you cut out. But before the portcullis, where were they coming from?
They're coming from all directions.
Time to go.
Agreed.
Sounds like a plan. How do we get upstairs?
You go through that door, take a left, through that door, go straight, take a right, up the stairs, and you're upstairs. Congratulations.
You know, it sounds like you know the direction to go better than I do.
Yep, but I
So,
give you directions.
let's go.
So, time to go now. Bye.
Okay. There is a thud, and you hear the sound of wood splintering, and then I think you closed all these doors,
I
technically.
closed all of them.
So
and
you
I
don't
did
don't see this guy.
I think
But,
I could. I think there are some broken ones in this direction.
Yeah, this one is open. So he's there's guards kind of coming from that direction at this point.
Right. Step into this room. Wait, no,
Okay.
it's.
Yeah, you spent your turns talking. Flora, little Flora.
Flora's going to look at Grace and go, so are we going over there? Are we staying in? What's the plan?
We gotta get to the towers. So sounds like we're following this girl's direction.
Got it. Do you mind if I go ahead real quick?
Go ahead, just be safe.
Hey. She'll walk out and walk past Elly and like look at her and go, I hope you don't die. Your soul's really pretty.
Flora, why don't you make me a perception check? So you notice, stepping through the threshold over the pool of blood, you see both Averi and Elly, but behind them you see the desk with about three little, not cubicles, but like only 2 foot tall desks for writing, and there are parchments everywhere. Behind it is a glass cabinet and a whole bunch of like pocket shelves where scrolls are just piled on, and it's almost packed to the brim. There's a high shelf in the corner which is got almost like briefcases of papers and stuff, and it's just stacked up to the ceiling.
Can Flora go look through the desk after walking past Averi?
Yeah, you can move over to the desk area, and you'd have just enough to begin to search through if you wanted to check one of the desks.
Avery
Okay,
is
Flora's-
giving you the most quizzical look that you've probably
Flora-
ever seen.
Flora looks up at you and goes, "Your soul's pretty like a dragonfly. I bet you go really fast." And she's like walking off and doing this with her fingers. Ooh, what's that?
So you can
What would
roll.
I roll?
You would roll a search. No, it'd be an investigation. Yeah, that's perception.
Investigation.
They don't have any of the fun skills in this one. Yeah.
Perception is really
Perception. I guess it's so you can just put lots of stats into it. So you pull open the drawers and you can see that the desks are primarily ledgers. You can see accounts, both outgoing and incoming, a bunch of numbers, a bunch of fine inked writings. It's very small scrawls, but it doesn't appear to be what you're looking for. Averi.
Well, despite... Okay, so, like, half my turn, let's say the move action, is spent just staring at this child who's here now and just said my soul was a dragonfly.
It's a lot to process.
And then my second half would be like snapping back to reality, turning back towards the door in the doorway, and getting ready to attack anything that comes through this door.
Okay. So that's Corvantis.
Okay. Corvantis just thinks it's time to get out, so he's gonna take his turn, get up here, pick up the box that was just put on top of this thing, move it over, open the trap door, and go, "I'm getting out of here. I don't know about y'all." And he starts getting ready to start climbing down and getting out if nobody's joining.
I had a point I wanted to bring up briefly that I probably should have brought up last turn about I don't know what's down there, and if it's like a boat or something, I want like a word that we can get on it to get out. So I'm wondering if I need to negotiate that with these people.
I would say you probably are just thinking about that, and you can react on your next turn. So Corvantis is moving the box a little bit.
Yeah.
What's your strength score?
My strength, it's a 16.
Yeah, so you just kind of tug and drag it over, shove it off.
Mm-hmm.
Much to probably Grace's frown in the background. So that is anything else? You just kind of prepping to
Yeah, can
descend?
I shout something as a reaction?
Sure.
Good luck.
Corvantis, you just hear
Thanks.
this over your shoulder.
Yeah, he just hears that like, okay.
So yeah, if you want to use the rest of your action, you can kind of lift up the cracked trapdoor, and you can see down is a kind of a little step ladder down to steps that it's like a wooden staircase crafted into the wall. Damus, the orc, is going to kind of step around almost like he's going to follow Corvantis, and then he pauses and turns to Grace, and he'll say, "Where are you from?"
As in my homeland?
Why are you trying to go towards the enemy?
I've got something I need to accomplish. And it pays pretty well.
And he will spend the rest of his turn deciding what to do. And since Sami's not here, I'm just going to try to play him as best as I can. But he looks monetarily motivated, like he might follow you.
He looks decidedly undecided.
So, Grace, having this exchange, you see the burly guy about to descend. The burly orc looks like he might follow you.
He's gonna look at the burly guy and say, "Hey, I know you want to get out of here, but getting in here is pretty hard too. You'd probably be best if you had somebody else going out there with you. If you want help, I can give you that." but I need help in return. And that will be the end of my turn.
Are you speaking to Corvantis or are you speaking to Damus?
Corvantis.
Corvantis? Okay. I was unsure, hence why I asked. Alright.
So, if that's your turn, then it's Elly next. And you've been kind of thinking, well, what do you say? What do you do?
Yeah. Can I say, in exchange for helping you get up the stairs and whatever, you're going to help us get out of the castle?
Well, it's kind of apparent by, and she gestures to the blood on you. It's kind of apparent by that you don't want to be here. And personally, I'd like to be here as little time as possible. But I got something I need to do. So if you want to help me do that by getting me to the tower, where I can get what I need to get, I'll
Are
get
you
you
okay
out of here.
with killing a few people between here and there?
Oh yeah.
Okay. Can I see?
Hmm.
Can I hold an action for? Actually, can I? I'm trying to remember what doors are open and which aren't.
So this one is closed. This one closes from the inside, so this one's, I believe, is open, but this one's closed.
Okay.
These two guard chambers, they close from the inside, so they can be barred. So you're able to lock this one. And I think that's the only one standing in your way right now.
Okay, so right now we need to go that way. And I'm going to cast Daze on any incoming people I see.
Okay.
Can you flash on the map where you say this way, Becca? Because I don't know what direction you're actually referring to. That way. Okay, thank you.
Go that way, yeah.
So you hear more banging from the exterior wall where Averi had run in from, and it sounds like that first tower that Averi had barred from the inside, they're having trouble getting through. And then you hear the shouts and like a 1, 2, 3, heave! And then they can't seem to lift the portcullis, but you hear boots in the hallway, and then you hear it begin to crank and rise. And then there's kind of a cheer among soldiers. But that seems to be it. Flora.
So Flora hears all that and was kind of just spacing out, looking at the dragonfly, like, "Who? What are you? Oh no, noises. Grace, stuff's happening."
Okay.
Stop getting in the way again.
Stuff's coming. I hear cheering and people talking. They're trying to move things and get over here.
Okay. So.
Got it.
I'm going to ready. I mean,
Yeah, go
Flora.
ahead.
Flora likes the dragonfly soul lady, so she's going to kind of get over here beside her, but still behind the desk. Look at her and go, "Miss Dragonfly, Miss Dragonfly."
I guess I'll take a quick glance, a cursory glance, and then back at the doorway.
Everybody gets one. Glossa said so. I won't let you die. Your soul's really pretty.
I am really freaked out by you, kid. Please stop.
Glossa. I mean, the dragonfly. But sorry, Glossa said I need to ask your name so we're not strangers and I don't perturb you in a way I've done. I'm sorry for this detrimental interaction that I've contrived in the first few moments of meeting you.
Averi.
Hi, Avery. I'm Flora. Don't die. I'm here. And she'll hold her sickle up and kind of like peek behind the desk.
Okay.
I'll end my turn there.
Okay. You're Averi.
Uh-huh. Okay. 5, 10, 15, 20. would I be able to hit this one?
The door's closed and barred. If
Oh, we barred this one?
yeah, it was barred on the
didn't
way
know-
in.
I
So
didn't know
yeah,
if we got that one. Oh, okay. Well then, no, I don't want to do that. I thought these two doors were open in this room.
this one
No.
is. This one's not. My apologies.
Then, yeah, I guess I'll step in here and ready an attack against the door.
Okay. Yep. You can hear movement on the outside.
Probably back here, actually, because it's pretty safe to say that they would come in a little bit. Yeah. Attack in any square in front of me that I can.
Okay. So basically, first guy in, end of your rapier.
Yes.
Okay. Corvantis.
Corvantis he looks over, sees that Avery's getting ready to fight. Or he can't really see it, but he kind of notices that she's not coming this way, and he goes, all right, let's go. And he will, excuse me, he'll get, like, right up here and ready his hammer out. And if they start trying to get through Avery, he's gonna step up and get past her. Attack.
Okay. Dermish is going to go in here as well, kind of squeeze past the door and lean back and say, "What do you need to get to?" To Grace.
Oh, I'm not really too sure which tower, but the closest tower would be preferred. So
Okay.
we need to get to the top of the tower.
So he's gonna bend over, and what is Damish's strength? Let's see. This opens up. He has a strength of 7. What? I thought he was a strong character. Okay.
I'm stronger than him.
He's going to point to
I think I am
Corvantis,
too.
and he's just going to point at the table and says, "Use this to shove the guards." And then he's going to step out of the way.
The call.
And then
He
Adrian
steps
Out of the
Raycliffe.
way and then walks off. Hey, Thomas, committed to acting. Thomas and his turn.
Yeah, I didn't realize he was such a not strength-based character. I forgot about that. But yeah, he remembers that there's a staircase here, and he points to the desk and says to Corvantis, "You could throw that and knock them down, maybe." And that's his turn.
What is he referring to when he says that? The table?
Yeah, like the it's like the scribe's desk.
Gotcha.
And then it's Grace's turn.
Alrighty. Grace kind of chuckles to herself, kind of having a knack for getting people to help her with things, so she kind of feels like this is totally up her alley. So she's gonna squeeze. Excuse me. Kind of peek her head past Avery and be like, "Hey, you intend on fighting whoever comes through?"
Once again, Avery looks back, except with less confusion and just like unbridled storm fury. Like, why are there more people now? And then turns
Avery,
back.
that's great. She's a friend. Her soul is like a daffodil.
That's how you know I'm a good person, apparently. I'm gonna take the angry staring as a yes. Except for I'm gonna get you some help. And she reaches down and she's got a dagger that's underneath her shirt that's kind of attached to the upper part of her hip, and she slices her hand on the dagger, and squats down and places her hand on the floor and starts muttering an incantation, and it ends in common, and it says, "Hope will always rise above the rest." And from the blood trails out and lands here in the corner. And as the blood settles, it spreads across the floor and opens up a giant not opens up but spreads across, making a giant plateau, and a giant paw rises up from the blood and slams it down on the floor, and then another paw, and out jumps what she has referred to as Hope. And she's not this big.
I will fix.
Thank you.
Very big.
Yeah. But yeah, she's also not that tiny. She's considered a medium.
Like this ish.
Yeah.
Bigger than
Guess
us,
that's
but
comparison. Well, we're medium.
Hoop. 00. No. Okay. Fixed.
Awesome. So this essentially this hellhound with a red diamond shape on its forehead crawls up and lands and takes point right here next to the door. And Grace says up to Avery, says, "There, got you some backup.
Yeah.
Hope will always prevail."
Avery's stance doesn't shift at all, but you can see there's just a little bit of sagging in just. There's another one.
And with that, Grace will get up and knock an arrow in her bow. And I believe that I'll have to triple check on this, but I believe Hope goes on Grace's turn.
Yeah, that's the way I'm going to run it for like NPC companions.
Cool.
So Elly.
Excuse me. I squeezed through. Excuse me. Sorry, Avery. Excuse me. Sorry. Should I open the door? They don't kick it down. Okay, I'm looking for nods, people. Looking for nods.
Let them do what they want. It's their castle, or it's their castle to destroy.
Okay. A hold days.
Okay. Let's do another 3. Actually, it's only 2 now. There's a bursting noise as a door flies open further in, and then you hear a rush of footsteps. The cranking of the portcullis completes, and then you hear more footsteps up on the stairs. The door is tested, and it is bolted already. So they are going to try to bash that one down as well. It thuds, but it does not give. Flora.
Grace, Avery the Dragonfly has a lot of attitude. Just so you know. She's very feisty. Flora is going to avoid looking at Corvantis and look over at Thomas and go, Mr. Soul of a Rock, are you moving the desk? Should I move?
Who was that to?
I think Thomas.
Thomas. Asking Thomas if she should move. Because she doesn't want to ask Corvantis because he does not like her, and she's like, I don't want to talk.
Oh, I thought you were talking. Okay, yeah, if you're talking to Damas, he'll be like, well, the guards are about to get here, so... And he's loading his crossbow. I don't know how many there are.
Flora will nod her head and try to gingerly move past Corvantis and try not to touch and just move over here to this corner. Because she feels like Corvantis does not like her at all, so she's just trying to be careful. Still holding her sickle.
Okay. Avery. The door rattles in front of you.
Yeah, I don't know what else to say except
You just holding?
if we're not leaving right now, this is the only way to get there.
Corvant.
So, yeah.
Yeah, okay. Who would breeze through these? Corvantis?
Those guys are getting ready to come in, correct?
Yeah, if no everybody ends up holding their actions here, we're just gonna skip however many rounds it is until the door bursts open, unless someone does something different.
Yeah, also, you summoned a hellhound with a priest! That is not a smart... Corvantis, the second he sees it, you're gonna see an internal crisis just, which do I attack? But Corvantis will, excuse me, and he'll get, like, right up here, hold his hammer out, and he's also gonna hold his action to whack the first guy that comes in here.
Okay. Damus is going to try to start dragging a desk to just block the door so that it's difficult terrain, and so he's going to move one of the desks, and that'll be his turn. So he puts a desk here, basically. And then he's got his crossbow loaded and ready. Grace, are you doing anything else?
Grace is going to step into the doorway. Actually, she'll stay to the side of the door and just stay with her bow and arrow ready. And she's going to yell to Hope, prepare to attack. And for Hope's action, she's going to hold a power claw attack.
Okay. Elly, are you still just holding?
You are muted.
So we're not opening the door. Still holding Daze.
Okay. The door bursts open. As you can see, there's two burly guards that kind of shoulder barge it open. Daze. Let's see. Yeah, we'll go with who
We
goes
have to
first.
assign us our targets because it seems like they're all charging in at the same time.
Yeah, well, there's this guy and this guy are the ones that bashed open the doors. So I'd say Averi, with your lunge attack, you're most likely to stab this guy.
Yes.
Let's see. So Grace, you're at the top of the round, but I think because their action triggers it, it goes. What order do held actions go off? Is it just top to bottom based off initiative?
Probably.
So
Based
Damus.
on request.
So Damus doesn't have on Grace your hound attacks, and all your actions go.
Okay.
A 21 and a 21.
Okay. That both hits them.
6 slashing damage apiece, so total of 12.
Okay, so the Hellhound rips the guy off his feet and just kind of like throws him across the room, and he crunches to the ground in a heap, dead. The next would be Elly's Daze. And there's the second guard here.
Need to make a DC.
They make a will save.
They make a will save, yeah.
Okay, so plus 0. So fail. That's GM layer, but
He's
that's
just
fine.
standing there.
Yeah, and then
Yep.
I think right after Elly is Corvantis.
Would that be me?
No, Averi. Sorry, I'm going the wrong direction. So Flora, did she have a held action?
No, I'm staying back in case
Okay.
someone needs to be healed.
So then Averi, you would lunge.
I would get that attack on them through the doorway.
Mhm.
Yeah. Acha. Oh, that's no fun. That's an 11.
Okay, that is a miss, as he kind of leans to the side, only for Corvantis' hammer to swing.
Okay. I don't know if you saw me roll. I did. I got a 12 on the die, so that becomes a 16 to hit.
That does hit.
Okay.
Especially since,
He's dazed.
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay. And then damage, it's 8, 9, 10, 11, 12.
Okay, yeah, you knock him off his feet. His body still moves forwards from his own momentum, but just basically clothesline him, but his face is smushed in.
Yep, that'll be my turn.
So those are held actions. The rest of the guards are going to still move in. 1, 2. This one immediately sees the hound on the left, steps aside so he can leave the hound for somebody else to engage, and he tries to take a swing at Corvantis.
Do I get an attack of opportunity because he was in my threat radius?
Yes. Actually, no, because your reaction was a held action.
Oh, that's right.
If it's D&D, same rules anyways.
I'm
not
not
100%
Attack
sure.
of opportunity is not explicitly a reaction. It's an attack of opportunity.
There's no cap to him?
I mean, you get 1 attack of opportunity per round.
Oh, but that was a reaction, so they are different. Okay, yeah, you can have an attack of opportunity. There's enough guards.
Hold on, I want to see if I... No, I don't have that feat. That's the next feat that I'm taking, because there's a feat that you can take that gives you additional attacks of opportunity, so you have more than just 1. I need to get that on Hope. Here. Natural 20 and confirmed.
Okay, crit card. As this guy tries to step away towards Corvantis, but that hound lashes out again.
Give me a second. That is a slashing?
Yes.
Slashing.
I don't think this will matter too much, but...
Normal damage and 2d6 bleed, damage of 10. So he tries to make space away from you, choosing to try to engage Corvantis. However, your jaws will jump out, and what happens?
Hope just it's claws, so Hope rears
claws,
up
okay.
and takes 1 slice across his chest, and then the other one comes around, just slices across his throat, and just bathes Hope in blood.
Yep, and the body just mangles to the ground, clogging the doorway almost. Oops, I keep hitting the wrong button.
Oops.
The guard behind is a little bit more brave, and he just tries to jump into Hope and stab you straight with his sword. This is a +3 attack. So that's a 9.
Corvantis is very conflicted. He doesn't know who to cheer for because he's attacking a hellhound. He's like...
As that guy tries to stab it, this other one does try to engage Corvantis and comes over here and tries to swing, also at a +3. That's a 13.
That'll hit.
Oh, it will?
I may hit hard, but I don't have that high AC.
1d8 +1. That's 4 damage. The next guard comes between and is going to try to engage Averi at a 16.
A 16. That will not hit because I'm going to use Dodging Panache and actually dodge over here.
Okay. The guards are all kind of stacking up behind. You can see there's more. Oh, that's a bit of body. He can stay. But yeah, there's more guards kind of flooding up the staircase. You can hear. That's a new round. So after the guards would be Flora, because I think I deleted the guard token. Oops.
Flora. Okay, so the door is open. So would Flora have seen Corvantis get hit?
Yeah, you can see everything going down. There's like 4 guards almost, I think, or 3 guards at least, are just getting kind of shredded in this onslaught as they're trying to storm through the bottleneck.
All right. Flora's gonna look at Grace and move up to her and ask, their souls got hit. Do I have...
Yeah, they're on our side. For now.
Okay, who do I help? Who do I help first? Who'd you say?
Grace just kind of looks at you and she's like, you can tell who got hurt and who didn't. I trust your decision.
Flora hears Bossa like chirp and goes, but she's going to walk up behind Corvantis because he's a big meat shield, and she's going to whisper, "Please don't hit me," and I'm gonna touch you and do a healing hex.
Okay. He hears this and instinctively kind of, you just see his whole back tense up as he's holding his hammer, and he kind of just turns behind him. Okay, it's you. Just don't stab me with a sickle.
Cure light wounds. So the cure light wounds would be like
1d8
that. So
plus 1 per caster level, so that will take a roll of 3.
Why is... Okay, that's really weird. So I click here... That's not where I clicked. I click here, but my mouse is like down in the... But that's where I'm clicking on my screen, and it's detecting I'm clicking Corvantis. What I did when I click right there.
That's strange.
I don't know why, but it's doing that.
Mine's accurate.
Yeah. I'm gonna quickly reload.
Sure.
There's a hot fix for that, but reloading is also a good thing.
Flora touches the back of Corvantis and just says, "Don't hit me. Everybody gets one."
Thank you, I think. Oh, hey, yeah, actually, thank you. That feels a lot better.
Oh! It's Averi. Dodging to the side. What do you do?
I will try to stab back at him, because how dare he? Oh, okay, so that's a 23 to hit,
That hits.
and then my unfortunate d6 with no bonus. 6. I actually got 6.
Okay. So, how do you wound him?
Okay, so he obviously swung like over me. I dodged under it and took like a harsh stab across his cheek.
Yeah, it's the deep gouge, almost probably piercing completely through the flesh. Very Joker-esque wound on one side. And he just kind of howls and like pulls his helmet off to try to like hold it. Any other actions?
Only reactionary.
Okay. So then next up would be Corvantis.
Gonna make sure I'm not muted this time. Corvantis, there's a guy right in front of him who just hit him. He doesn't like him. He's gonna try and swing. That's not gonna hit. I guarantee it.
Okay. Yeah, so he lifts his shield and kind of shoves the weapon out of the way.
For the people at home, I rolled a 2.
If only there was a 0.
Flora sees you miss and just kind of whispers, "You can do it. Go."
So Damus is going to manually lift another desk and put it on here, effectively making a barricade. And then he will step over and have a clear shot at Averi. He will shoot his crossbow. And the soldier, having removed his helmet, grabbing his cheek, kind of looks up with his sword at the ready, and then a crossbow goes through his head, and he like gets tanked down to the ground. Crossbow sticking out of one ear. And then Damus like just, and then it's just Grace's turn.
All right. just want to make sure that I read this right. So Grace is gonna peek her head out, see the guy in front of Corvantis, and knowing that he got hit, being as that's the one that Flora chose to go to, she's gonna slide her way out of the door. She's gonna reach over and be like, "Look, I know Flora told you not to hit her, but don't hit me either." And she's gonna touch Corvantis. It's getting a lot of attention this round, and catch mage armor on him. And apparently with this style, you can have this when you are wearing regular armor, but this will give you a +4 bonus to your AC.
Very, very valuable.
And she's like, okay, now you got it. Okay. And she's going to step back behind the door for her movement. And then Hope is going to take 2 power claw attacks at the guard in front of her that hit her. Claw attacks. That's a 6 and a 15.
Okay, 15 will hit for 5. That will do 5 points of damage. Roll 20 is so slow for me right now. So 5 damage?
Same.
5 damage.
Not just you.
Noah, can you talk?
Yes. What's up?
Okay, I had to unload and reload because I wasn't getting anything you were saying.
Oh, I also talked earlier and realized I still had my microphone muted.
He's a smart one.
Okay.
I never said I was smart. I just said I hit hard.
So, the devil dog, Hope, just kind of claws another one of the guards in front of her, and he shouts in agony. What does Elly do?
I think we need to stop the stream of people coming inside the room. Is there somebody inside the room who's alive?
There's this guy and your allies, and then there's more in the doorway, it looks like.
Oh, crud. The person in the doorway, can I put into a daze so that way he kind of acts as like a human shield?
Okay,
Kind
yeah.
of block the people coming into the room?
Yeah.
So he has to roll a will.
Okay, he's at a straight 0, I think, for will.
Cool. So he's blocking the door a little bit.
Yeah. He's got a will +0. So that's a 5 fail. He's stunned. Dazed, rather.
Cool. Bring the portcullis up, please. Need to get through the room.
Okay.
That's my turn.
So the guards, seeing this devastation before you hear, "Retreat! They have a devil hound!" And you can hear kind of a confused clutter of footsteps as some of the guards are kind of stepping out of the way. This one is going to take another stab at Hope. +3, that's a 18.
That hits.
And I think they're, +1 damage. Yeah, 1d8 +1, so that's 2 damage. The one with Corvantis is going to... Is there a disengage action in this?
It's a withdraw full round action.
Okay, he is going to withdraw full round action and kind of shield up against you, hearing his allies shouting that, and seeing the blood spattered all over. He's going to kind of back out of the chamber, and then you can hear kind of everybody kind of pulling out of the room a little bit. Flora.
Flora is going to... Well, she's hiding behind Corvantis because she doesn't want to get hit. She has a very, very low armor class. Arguably probably lower than Corvantis, maybe just a smidge of a bit higher.
What's your AC?
Let me check.
Because mine's 12.
Mine is also 12, so yeah. But you're bigger, and you get to take more hits. Therefore, I'm hiding behind you. There's still a guy right there by Hope. Otherwise, she would run over and go heal Averi. I think she'll stay right there and hold her sickle in case anything gets past Corvantis.
Okay. Averi.
Well, I'm not letting this man leave. So, +5. 7.
Okay, that's a miss.
Yeah, it is. I am letting this man leave.
Okay, Corvantis.
Corvantis looks over at Averi, seeing the mess, goes, like this, and will get up to... I'm guessing there's still an alive guy right there.
Yep.
At least it looks like it to me. And he's going to take a swing at him. That's a 17 plus 4, that's a 21 to hit.
That hits.
And that's 2d6 plus 4 damage. That is 4, 5, 6, 7. That's 11 damage.
Yep, you crunch into him. His armor is permanently dented and destroyed, and the big crunch in his back or chest, wherever you hit him, he just collapses.
He turns around Averi. Hammer better than sword.
Can I have a reaction to that?
Stop it. It's
Yeah.
crowded in here.
Can I have a reaction to that? When he
Yes.
says that?
Yes.
Hope looks over at Corvantis and says, I agree.
Hope looks at me.
Mhm.
He looks down at the dog and just goes, I never said I liked you. And he's holding the hammer, looking at the dog, and the Hope looks at him. It's very obvious. He's contemplating just smacking the dog at this point. He's like, I don't know where you came from. You've helped, though, so I don't want to hate you, but I do.
Turn to Forrest as a reaction to that. Sir, we don't mean to cause any aspersions. It's just magic. Do not fret about the situation at hand.
I'm a
Focus on
priest.
Please prioritize the situation at hand. I am fully cognizant that you are a priest. I have not forgotten that you are a priest. Please focus.
Jameis interrupts and says from the back, excuse me, if you're done talking, we have more company. And then he's going to take a reload and shoot as these more guards are coming through the door. However, that's actually a hit, and one of the guys sinks down to his knees and holds his stomach, kind of pulls himself off to the side, gasping in pain, but the others are still coming, and you can see there's actually more guards coming from behind as well. That's Damus's turn. Next is Grace.
All right. Let's see. So if Grace peeks out, can she see anybody?
From forwards?
Yeah. Is there anybody in the doorway?
The doorway looks to be cleared out. You can see that there's bodies all over the floor, like 2 people piled over each other, a third one dead on top. And then in the background, behind the door frame, you can see a couple guards kind of huddled back with their shields up, and it sounds like more are retreating down the staircases.
Okay. Grace is going to step in the room. And hold out a hand to Hope and just tell her to wait. And then she's going to knock an arrow and hold a shot with her bow and arrow. And Hope is going to hold a power claw attack if somebody who is not considered a friendly comes through the door.
Okay. Then Elly.
Is there somebody I can see over here?
You would have line of sight at one of them, yeah.
Can I just do a minute's meteors on them?
Yes, you can. Is that an attack or a reaction?
It's like it's like a D4 attack. It's pretty lame.
Okay.
Like my.
Do you make an attack roll, or do I make a dex save type thing? Reflex.
Yeah, they make a reflex
Does it-
saving throw with DC 13.
Oh,
I'm gonna say, yeah, that doesn't do anything.
he's got his shield up, so it kind of rattles off the metal, and he's like, back, through the door, retreat.
Miss Grace, I don't think I can take you where you want to go, at least if we want to get out alive. And I would prefer to get out alive.
I'm all for getting out alive, but it sounds like they're running. And it sounds like they're running downstairs, and where we need to go is up, right?
Yeah, but there's people coming from that way too.
Okay.
I'm
Yeah.
not concerned.
The guards at the top, and Damus says, "We have company." They try to stab him over his makeshift barrier, and he'll get cover. We'll say.
Give me a minute, buddy. I'll be there.
Yeah, and they both miss, and then the third guy is kind of limps along here to the side. And then you just hear kind of people down the steps, kind of reorganizing a little bit. But Flora.
Flora says, Miss Raspberry, it's just that Grace lacks the trepidation to express the same thought process as you. Please bear with. Either way, I just don't want to watch anybody get hurt. Flora will look at Avery and go, Avery, do you need heals? It looks like your soul is hurting slightly.
If you can patch me up, I'd prefer to do it at a more critical time.
Alright, fair enough. Your soul's moving to... Yeah, it makes sense. Flora and by Grace with her sickle in hand, and say, you lead the way, Grace. If anything happens, I'll patch you up.
Thank you. I know I can always count on you.
Yes.
Okay. Avery.
Right, I will take... Oh, not Grace. My way back here. After hearing this, pop my head out with a smile, say, remember me? And then probably attack that one.
Okay. Now, there's a desk between you. A rapier is a fairly long weapon, and it's a thrusting weapon primarily, so they will still have some cover.
Sure, so like a +2 or something.
Yeah.
$19.
That hits, yes. Do you pop out, remember me, thrust? Where do you hit, and how much damage?
One, I graze him.
Yeah. You graze him on the throat, though. If the desk wasn't in the way, you would have been able to pierce straight through. But he leans back, he nicks it, and he's like, ah! And he calls you a bad name. Corvantis.
Rude. Does Flora hear that?
I'm sorry, that was really funny.
And
Yes.
then call back. Oh, come on, you know better than that.
Grace,
All
I
right.
swear.
5, 10,
How
15, 20. Is Damus to the side enough that I can get a longbow shot through?
Yeah, the guy still has cover, so because Damus is standing, even if off to the side, you have a narrow shot. So he will have a +4, but you can still make an attempt.
Yeah, he's not gonna try to go through that with his hammer because he literally can't fit it through. So he's gonna take a shot with a regular arrow, not a +1.
Okay.
That's a flat 11. So I'm guessing that
It's
doesn't
gonna
hit.
fail. Yeah. The arrow whizzes back, and the guy behind reflectively deflects it off his shield. It's like,
Yeah. Unfortunately, the bow, I don't have the dex for it, so it's just a flat roll.
Damus is going to step back, and then the two guards will get attacks with Damus having an extra bonus. Neither of those are going to hit 8 or 5, even with bonus Unless Damus's defense is really bad. Let me check. Where's his armor? 14. Yeah, he's fine. So he steps back, reloads his crossbow, which I think he can do move, reload, and shoot, if I'm not mistaken.
What kind of crossbow is it?
It's a light crossbow.
Then yes, movement is load, and then attack, or standard is attack.
Okay, that's what I thought. It fails. It actually hits the desk, and the drawer kind of pushes out the other side because it's a multi-sliding drawer. And then he's just going to step over and says, I think maybe we should consider leaving. Grace.
Grace is going to step her way over the bodies and peek her head around the corner.
Okay.
Oh boy.
You can see there's a swarm of guards. They are holding somebody upright. She looks to be barely conscious, but they have a weapon. Oops. Hello?
Hi.
Fairly gone, eh?
Oops.
She's fairly what?
She is barely awake, conscious. She kind of keeps kind of sagging, and there's two guards behind her holding her up. And then there's one guy here who's got his blade up to her throat, and it's a dagger.
Okay. Does it look like they're coming this way?
No, it looks like they've retreated and staged. I'll move the bodies, even though I like to keep the kill count on. Oops, that doesn't work. I will delete the bodies, but there's a pile of bodies there.
Does it look like, by observation, does it look like they're walking away from the portcullis, or no?
No, it looks like they've kind of pulled back, reset into a line, and they are holding position.
Okay. And is this door shut?
That door has been closed, yes.
Okay. Grace is going to step over here and say, Hope, would you mind maybe clearing that out and closing it up? And Hope kind of just saunters her way this way.
Okay. I don't think I gave your token any sight.
Correct, you did not.
So vision, just yes. Okay. As soon as the hellhound, or what is it exactly?
So it's a you can call it essentially a hellhound, but that's not really what it is. But
That's what
yeah,
they think it
looks
is.
like a hellhound.
There's a volley of 4 arrow crossbolts, rather, kind of whistle through the air in your direction.
Okay.
And they are all at a +2, so that is probably 3 hits.
3 of them hit.
There's a nat 20 there too.
There is a nat
That's a
20 there, too.
15 for confirmation.
Yep.
Okay, so that's a
Well,
crit.
yeah, my AC is 14.
Yeah, so the crit is a crit, so I will need a crit card. And then for crossbows, those are 1d8s, so that's 6, 8, that's 13 normal damage, and target is stunned for 1 round, so that is going to be 14 points of damage.
Yeah, so she actually vanished. No, she doesn't vanish, sorry.
It's
She
Control Z,
stays
I
like a
think.
character. Does it come back at Control Z?
If not, then
Not for us, it looks like.
It's okay. Easy fix. Oh, you got it. Cool.
Corvantis is very conflicted. He's like, yeah, yay? Question mark. He doesn't know whether to be happy about this or not. He's very conflicted.
okay.
Well, she would have gotten rid.
So, as your hound kind of moves around the corner, you just hear the whistle of crossbow bolts, and a couple thuds, and probably a bit of a yelp. Okay. That would be Elly next.
Unmute myself and be like, yeah, I'm sorry, Miss Grace. and go around the corner. Can I see somebody through?
Yeah,
Door.
there's like a half level desk blocking it. Damus has put 2 back to back, so it's kind of probably like 4 feet deep.
Cast
above him.
daze on whoever I can see
Okay.
through the hole.
Okay, he is dazed. This is not the one, I think, unless are you doing the one that nicked his neck or the other one?
Whatever one is most visible.
Okay, then the one that's next
Probably
to
the
him.
one that is
Yeah,
damaged.
he's at full health but dazed. Okay.
Okay. And hold on, I need to look at my movement because I have no idea what my movement is. I don't even know where to find my movement.
30 feet, so 6 squares-ish.
Okay.
You can just eyeball it. Most everything was within a move distance of what you're trying to do.
Yeah, I'm just thinking it's about time to head out.
Damn it.
Okay.
So I just realized there was something I could have done
To your hound?
as a summoner. Yeah.
Okay. Before I have the guards go, what is it?
So this is what
Whatever that.
it says. So pretty much, I can sacrifice my hit points to give it to my summons.
Okay. So if you want to do that, describe to us how that happened.
So as hope falls, Grace takes her hand down and just starts sliding her hand across her dagger. The couple swipes, and she does 5 swipes against her hand, and brings Hope back with 1 hit point.
Okay. I will remove the X. And you can see for your dog, the arrow is like feathers deep into its hide, but it's still brings itself back up. Grace, I imagine your hand is covered with scars.
Oh yeah,
That's gnarly.
both hands.
So, so the guards get to go. I will give sight back to this token because you kind of wake
Sorry.
up. And you can see the guards shout, and you hear this strong masculine voice and say, "Prisoners, throw down your arms, surrender, or she dies." And with that, they kind of let go of Bree and push her down to her knees, and he still holds the dagger to her throat. Up here, the one guard who got nicked steps aside as well. He doesn't want to get hit again. These guards run up, and they're going to pull their ally away off to the side as well, and they're going to hold position. Is days 1 round? Yeah, okay.
Still the beginning of my next turn.
Okay. So, Flora.
Because of Flora's abilities, Flora feels every single bit of damage that everyone's been taking, including what Grace just did to her hands. Also on her hands. So she's very, very uncomfortable. And she looks over at Hope, looks over at Grace, hears the voice, looks at Grace and prioritizes Grace instead, walks over, grabs her hand, and does Healing Hex.
Okay.
Hey, thanks for max health again.
Grace, what do we do?
It's fine. We'll be okay.
Okay. She's gonna look back toward the others, but also look at Grace and Hope. And she plans on trying to go take care of Hope next if Hope makes it, so.
Oh.
So, Averi. Unless I read that wrong, it should be a roll to 4, it looks like. That's the bold number, right?
Oh, that's a total.
Yeah.
It already adds in her 1 for the level. I wasn't aware of that. I thought it wasn't adding it in.
You're good.
Okay. Close. Both Corvantis and Grace are 1 down. But Averi.
I don't. So I don't think that I know that there's a hatch in there. Maybe they were just being held prisoner in this room. So there's no reason for me to believe that this exists. And that means I'm going to stand here and stab whoever I have access to.
Okay, probably the guy with the nick in his neck. You can, especially, I mean, if you want to jump on the desk and kind of crouch down, you have a much better range.
I mean, if I can do that. I thought it was like standing up, but yeah, I would.
No, so it's two desks that are like desk height, so 3 feet, whatever. But there's two of them, so it's like a 4 foot deep block. But if you jump up onto it, then you can just thrust and retreat.
Oh, gotcha.
So I can draw that more like a square, I guess.
What's my reflex?
That's,
Okay, so I don't fumble. I'm telling you guys, I'm much better in roll d7 situation. So I don't get my attack off. Well, I mean, I get my attack off, but nothing happens.
okay. So you try to lean over and swipe him, but he's around the corner and kind of best to not put yourself out there too much. Corvantis.
Did he hear the guards?
Yeah, it echoes through the corridors, and you can hear it. It's a little muffled because you're up in the next room, but you can almost hear it from both doors because of the openings.
He knows exactly who they're talking about. There's only one party member missing, and she's also a follower of the same god. He 5, 10, 15. Oh wait, hold on. 5.
It's close enough. I'm not super worried about like movement speed in close quarters like this. So.
He gets out to here. He pulls the bow off, and sets both the bow and the hammer down, and goes, "Let her go, and you get me." And he has his hands up.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry, if there's anything else, go ahead. I don't want to cut you off.
No, it's fine. Oh man, if she wasn't a follower of the same god, he would never do this. But because they're both followers of Aurori, he has a connection with her. So he's just like, no, drop your weapons, let her go, and you get me. Because he's like a bigger dude, and he knows he could be of use to them. Unless he doesn't want to be.
Damus is going to kind of squeeze past Elly and say, "Well, I think it's time to go." And he's going to start making his way to the trapdoor. Because I think that's probably what he would do. Based off of him being an addition that you found upstairs. That is Grace next.
She's gonna look at Flora and say, "I'm really sorry I dragged you all the way out here, old friend, but I think we might need to take a second shot at this another time."
You see Flora looking toward Corvantis, holding her chest. Grace, his heart hurts. It hurts.
Elly, what are you doing?
Elly says, "Avery, trust me, we want to go this way. And can I cast color spray on this group of people.
Okay.
I have no idea what this spell actually does.
Okay. I better Google it then.
It's so weird. I think it depends on how many hit dice this person has. I don't even know what I'm supposed to do, but
Okay.
it feels like it's a group
Just
spell.
pulled it up. So, a vivid cone of clashing colors springs forth from your hand, causing creatures to become stunned, perhaps blinded, or maybe even knocking them out. 2 hit dice or less, the creature is unconscious or blinded and stunned for 2d4 rounds, then blinded and stunned for an additional 1d4 rounds, and then stunned for an additional 1 round. So it's a very powerful spell, actually. It is a will saving throw for will negates. What's your spell save?
I believe it's a 13.
And it's a
But-
15-foot cone, so you can hit all of them.
Yeah.
And they're with will, they're just straight rolls. So that's 7, 13, and 2.
I'll fail. Wait, 13.
Okay, so
I think, is it meet to beat with will? I don't know.
it should probably be. So the one who's dazed, he kind of shakes himself just as the color spray gets the guys behind him, and he kind of wakes himself up.
And then I'm gonna join Damus around the corner after blinding them, and get ready to get down this hole.
Okay.
I don't know what is going to entail that. If I help him move the box, I think the box was already moved.
Okay. For the next round, the round will actually be 10 seconds instead of 6 because the guard's voice shouts, 10, 9, 8.
Adrian, I'm going to message you something. I'd like you to take it into account.
Okay. But that is going on as it is Flora's next turn, and then I'll
He
wait for your
is
message.
taking account, though.
Flora is looking
Ba-dum-tsh.
toward Corvantis, looks at Grace and says, "Does that mean we're leaving?"
We're leaving. And we'll take them with us.
Flora looks over at Corvantis and she's going to cast message. And you're going to hear a voice that doesn't sound like Flora's. That's much more mature, that seems to come out of nowhere, that says, "I know you two didn't get off on the best of terms, but she'd be very upset to see you die. Your soul is warm and sweet and cares. I would ask you to step down, but that would negate the very premise of who you are. But if you do survive, please stay by her side. She means..." And Flora will make her way toward where everyone else is, and look at Grace, nod her head, and then just get all the way back over here.
Okay.
Katie, I sent you the way you messaged me.
So, Averi.
Well, now I know to follow. I'll take an attack and then I'll get back into the room. Whoever it, probably the one I nicked.
Okay, yeah, he's the only one that kind of you have a shot at, really.
15.
That will not hit with his +2. Because he uses his shield. Sorry, hello?
Welcome back.
Yeah, hi.
It keeps glitching and refreshing Discord for me. But yeah, he raises his shield and kind of locks it as you kind of slip out of the chamber there. Inside, you see the half-orc kind of having held open the thing, and he kind of is motioning for anyone in the room to descend down this passageway. And before Corvantis, before your turn, you can see for a moment from where you're at the captain, booming voice shouting, 8, 7, and you can see one of the guards motioning for you to come down here, and he's got his blade at the ready to take you prisoner. When all of a sudden you see Bree's eyes flicker open for a moment, and you kind of make contact, and you can't quite hear what she says, but she kind of mouths some words to you. And Mckenzie, I'd like you to message your final words to him privately, unless you want to post it publicly. But she's at -5 hit points, and barely awake from her previous wounds, so she's not able to shout it. But Corvantis, you can basically read her lips, and with that, Bree moves her neck all of a sudden, and the blade, the poniard, is right there, and it just blood spurts out, and the guard stops counting and kind of steps back, shocked at the body, drops to the ground as Bree falls dead. And the guards are not quite sure how to react. Corvantis.
Corvantis sees this. He just picks up his hammer and he yells at the top of his lungs, and there is just this unbridled rage within him. And it seems as if he's forgetting he's even a priest in this moment, and he just goes, "Idiot!" And he's going to start getting out of there. He knows what she meant.
Okay. It is... There...
He'd be able to get to about here.
When you get there, you see Flora is having the same reaction as you, and she's shaking her head and she's crying because she's feeling all this negativity at once.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. As Corvantis was running, he did silently say a quick prayer for Bree, and then he ran.
May her spirit find peace in the afterlife.
Yeah.
She'll be
and
punching so many things.
As much as I don't want him to, he would have left the longbow.
Yeah. There will be ample opportunity to re-equip, I'm sure. With the beginning of a new round, Damus jumps down the steps. Grace, are you following as well as Hope? Or no?
Grace is following. Hope is Hope is gonna stay where she is at, knowing that everyone has perceived her as a hellhound. And if I can, I'd like to roll an intimidation check to have her roar at them and try to prevent them from getting followed.
Okay, yeah, roll an intimidation. The hound that just wouldn't die.
Yep. Intimidation. That's an 8.
Yeah. It's a howl, but they kind of look up suddenly at you and they're like, "You're supposed to be dead!" But, yeah.
Does that take my movement with her?
No, you can move.
Okay. So Grace would be well, actually, how much movement does she?
Yeah. Again, I'm not concerned with the movement for this page right now. So you can basically just start running and make a break for the trapdoor, and if you wish to descend down, you're familiar with what's below, you kind of just loop down without even using the steps, and you can withdraw from this map.
So what she would do is she would do that, and then she would have Hope get to pretty much here, and as soon as everybody's down the hole, Hope's gonna push the block back over the trapdoor and then vanish.
Oh, okay. So with that, Hope is hanging off to the side. Again, there's 3 arrows sticking out of your hide. One's like arrows deep in your neck. But Elly, as you're going down, you're already there at the steps. Do you descend?
I'm muted now. I'm not. Yeah, I would have gone down my last turn if it was open, but I just wasn't sure the state of the.
Yeah. Okay. So So Damus would, as a gentleman orc, let you go down first, and then he would jump down after you, and then Grace, running up, can descend. The guards, you can hear them say, "Hey, they're running away! Get them! What are you doing? Wake up! Wake up!" And nobody comes in from the top. The bottom guards, some of them you can hear starting to move up, but there's not that many. It sounds like most of them are still kind of stunned that someone just. Yeah. Flora, are you wishing to withdraw?
Flora's gonna make her way into the room, following Grace. Stop by Corvantis, look at him, and then say, I'm sorry.
If she's really looking at him, she can see. It's kind of like anime. You know when like an anime character has like a big loss and their eyes just go shallow?
Yeah.
His eyes are that right now. Like, it's very obvious he's holding back so much rage right now. Not at her, but at them for putting her in that situation.
Flora,
And you can
go ahead.
you can see he's going one of two ways. Once he calms down, he's either gonna beat the crap out of the nearest inanimate object, or he's just gonna break. It's one of the two. Nobody can tell which is gonna happen, but one's gonna happen.
Flora hears a Glossa chirp, looks at Glossa, exhales slowly, and holds out a hand for Corvantis.
Oh.
Corvantis just kind of ruffles your hair and just, in a very quaky voice, just goes, "Get going."
She looks at you, her eyes click for a second, and she grabs your hand from the top of her head and then just holds it and says, "Not without you.
Oh.
Your soul hurts, but it's warm and it cares. You're not creepy. You're big and sweet like a giant teddy bear, but you hit really hard like a grizzly bear."
Oh my gosh. Okay. I'm guessing with that you're holding your action to go with me.
Okay. Then
Yeah.
that would be Averi then. You're in the doorway. You see this exchange.
I gotta try to get one last stab in.
He.
Because
Yeah,
people aren't leaving fast enough.
Oh, that's weird. What'd you roll?
18.
That hits. Roll your damage. And
5.
tell me where you hit him.
5 and just into the shoulder area.
Yeah, he out of the corner of his eye sees you pop around the corner. He's like, "Oh fuck!" And then you stab him, and he ah! And he yanks himself off the blade, only for you to disappear back around the corner, I presume.
Oh yeah.
He's not dead that you've seen, but you can hear his pained shouts as you descend down the trapdoor, I presume.
No, not quite.
Okay.
Still standing here.
So then Corvantis and Flora, are you going to descend now together?
Corvantis, as they're getting ready to, because it is a standard action, I double check. In hopes to screw with these guys, he's going to create water, and he's going to do it in here, and have the water kind of flow in this general direction.
Okay.
So basically, if those guys start trying to follow, I want to make them slip. That's my entire goal. I want to make them slip, and since Averi's sitting here, he's seen lightning from her, he wants shocking power to happen.
Okay.
He does want that to happen.
Yes, much shock.
It's not gonna happen.
And then Corvantis and Flora will...
Okay.
Downward.
And you withdraw.
Yep. Also, I don't know if anyone else caught what Becca said earlier. Oh my gosh, I lost my shit. I couldn't stop laughing.
So, Averi, you're the last one in the room.
Yeah. If there's no one to stab, then I will take my leave as well.
Okay. In the empty storage room, the trapdoor is again broken in pieces as the frame is bent. Hope steps over and kind of shoves the box over it, doing its best to conceal the exit. From the back room, you hear the sound of boots climbing over the desk. They step down, and some of the guards slip and fall on the wet, bloodied and watered ground, and it just everything's a mess. From the other corner, you can hear boots and footsteps coming up through the corridors. Some indistinct cursing as they see how many bodies and mauled comrades they have in that one back room. But your party hurries down the flights of stairs. You go down, zigzagging back, and descend and descend and descend. And you see before you the docks. And that is where we shall end for tonight. So.
Yay!
You
That
say
was
that's
so
where we
much
end
fun.
for tonight? Are we actually done with it, or are we ending?
No, you did not go down the passageway like I thought you were going to do. So now you're going down the passageway and you're getting to the docks. And
No, you didn't copy Flora over. Where's Flora?
where
No.
did... One second.
Flora's over here.
Oh,
She's in the corner.
How did that happen?
I don't know. Is Grace there too? No, it's just
No,
Flora.
Grace
Flora's
with the rest of them. Where's
Flora-
Flora?
check
Floating.
underneath.
Gosh.
Are there any tokens covered up? Maybe. No?
No.
Yes, maybe. Okay.
no.
Just delete your tokens. I'll repaste them.
Delete
In the
them?
water. Yeah, just I'm gonna repost them in the water.
I don't know how to delete it token.
There's a delete
Just click
button
on
your
it and hit the
keyboard.
delete on your keyboard.
So yeah, everybody's gonna be over here-ish as you are descending the steps. But yeah, we will pause here for tonight. That was a kind of a grueling session. I did not expect to have to pull that card.
That was an emotional roller coaster. Oh my gosh.
So that was fun. Thank you for playing.
That was awesome.
Thank you.
Start crying there in the middle of the game.
Oh my gosh, I couldn't stop laughing. I hear the intimidation, and I just hear meow from like just a really quiet one too, and I just started losing my. I don't think anybody else caught it either, which made it just
I
that much
didn't.
funnier for me.
Yeah, no. I was like, what's Noah laughing about? What happened?
I definitely caught it. It just didn't strike me.
I thought it was freaking hilarious.
Flora was
Also,
feeling everybody else's pain. Or
I really like
the
Flora.
notice. I appreciate
Yeah.
that.
I have to tell you though that when you're sad, that laughter is the best way to get over it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Adrian,
Yeah.
thank you for taking into account what
It's
I
your
said.
character. Your character.
Yeah.
So
Wasn't
Oh
sure
my
how
gosh.
conscious she'd be.
Make an emotional.
But there's no way
Yeah.
she'd let Corvantis give up himself for her. No way.
yeah, remembering.
I also really. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, remembering Bree's like first game, where she goes in and beats everybody up and dies almost. That's
Dies,
very,
yeah.
that's very Bree. So
Yeah.
Corvantis,
Busted.
the first couple things he said to her, "Get up, you idiot!" They healed her.
so, rest in peace, Bree.
Yeah.
This is seriously.
F in the chat.
Spam the chat for Bree, boys. F in chat.
Yeah.
This was grueling for my spellcasting.
Yeah.
Okay, so I have another Discord server group. I don't know if the recording is still going on.
Yeah, I can end the recording. We're over. Have a good night, everyone.
For